Hi, everyone. Are you guys ready for your own event or not? Good. So thanks. My name is Ali Reza. I'm helping on the investment side of Plug and Play. Before I start and share the story with you, I'd love for you to watch two videos that's going to make my life easier. With that, can we get the video, please?
The most valuable thing that we've seen so far is just an eye-opening on what's possible and what's out here.
Plug and Play is that connective tissue, the access to the ecosystem here in New York, and I think to the important level that Plug and Play can be that bridge between New York and Silicon Valley. This program fits perfectly within our strategy, where we are trying to develop more things. We're accelerating our businesses, getting more efficient.
So together with Session for Good, we get ideas, we get inspiration, and we get motivation to move forward in this field.
We at Porsche are very proud to be partner from Startup Autobahn, and we get new expertise to challenge it with our project ideas, and that we get a new spirit for our work.
I think Plug and Play is probably some of those innovation magnets, and especially well established in travel.
保险领域是相通的，新的科技也是所有人都需要学习的。但是我们不通过 PMP 这个平台呢，没办法去看到这些新的体验。
What's great about Plug and Play is once you're kind of in the family, they continue to add value and bring new opportunities to you.
Great, thank you. On behalf of Rahim, who is sitting here and asking me to come up and not talking, and Said, who's the CEO of Plug and Play, I love to welcome all of you to Plug and Play. The story of this community started about 15 years ago, that when I came to Plug and Play and it was my job, Rahim asked me. But we didn't do a good job. It took 15 years. I love to thank Dr. Tabesh and Ahmed Reza and Mo that made this happen. Please, Doctor, I'd love for you to come. Ahmed Reza and Mo, that you guys made this happen for us. Thank you.
خب من فارسی میگم. خب سلام به همه دوستان و خیلی خوشحالم این جمع. من فکر کنم که ما کنار هم باشیم خیلی اتفاقای خوبی میتونه بیفته و من خوشحالم که داریم جمع میشیم و همین جمع بودن و کامیونیتی خودش میتونه خیلی کارا رو ببره جلو. تجربیاتی هم که ما قبلا جاهای دیگه با علیرضا داشتیم همیشه خیلی این اتفاقای خوب میافتاد وقتی دور هم بودیم. به هر صورت من به همه شما خیر مقدم میگم، از پلاگ اند پلی و رحیم جان و احمد رضا و همه دوستان تشکر میکنم که این اتفاق و مبارک و میمون رو به نتیجه داره میرسه و خلاصه کنار هم بودن باید با هم کار بکنیم و فرصت ها رو به وجود بیاریم. حتما این اتفاقا میفته. خیلی متشکرم.
And very quick to give you the numbers, you saw Plug and Play. Today, Plug and Play is at over 50 offices on the globe, The reason that Saeed is not here, we just opened Plug and Play Sweden, over 22 countries. We do about 1 investment per day. We have been lucky enough to be part of over 30 unicorns. That is a lot of them coming from the same community that you guys and all of us belong to. And also we have 650 plus employees on the planet. We love to be part of your story and see where we can help. If you have any idea, if you have any question, any help that you need, we are 1 email away from any of you. With that, I will welcome you one more time and will pass it to you, Saeed.
Salam. I think for the rest of the program, I think most of it is going to be in English. If you don't mind, I'm going to switch to English. Welcome. And I would like to echo what Dr. Taweh said and Ali Reza said, that the reason you are here is you would like to join this community of like-minded people who would like to start a company, join a startup company, invest in a startup company, make money one of these ways or another way that you would be creative about. So for that, I've been told to ask you to join the LinkedIn page through which, or sign into the YouTube page, through which you're going to get a lot of information and you would be able to reflect and also indicate what is it that you're interested. So I'm going to do a little poll over here. How many of you are here because you would like to start a startup company or already have started a startup company? Raise your hands. Okay, that's a good part. How many of you are investors and you would like to contribute to people who have brilliant ideas over here? Don't be shy, raise your hands again. Okay, we have a few over here, we have a few over there. You will be marked by these people. And how many of you are looking for key employees with superior technical backgrounds that can join your company and can help you? Okay, and how many of you are those key employees? Raise your hands. Looking for a job. Okay, and how many of you are confused why you're here? Hopefully we'll make it worth your time. It's a community that works by your engagement. It's a community that works by your engagement. So you're part of it. So the more active you become, the more you look around, you meet people, you find out what they do, the better this community will be for all of us. Okay, so that is a mission that I'm going to hold you up to it. Tonight we have a full program. We have 4 startups presentation, in addition to our Fireside Chat, which I'm going to go to immediately in the interest of time. Tonight, we are fortunate to have a founder of a fantastic company, Workera, which has been in business for 3 years now, 4 years, 4 years. And the founder and CEO of this company, Kian Katanforoosh, is over here, a fellow Stanford alumni. And I'm going to ask him to tell us what journey he took and what motivated him and what he did. And hopefully that would be a great example for those of you who would like to start your own company. Kian, please come over here. Let's see, we're going to do a different mic. Let's check to see if your mic is working. Mine is apparently working. Let's see. Okay, as I said, am I on? Okay. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to start right away, just give you the forum. Kian, can you tell us about your background and how you became interested in the intersection of AI and education?
So hi everyone. First, it's nice to meet everyone. I come from an engineering background. So I studied in France, where I grew up. My parents immigrated from Iran at the time of the revolution. And I was always passionate about education, partly because like many people in this room, you know, we for the most part moved countries. We oftentimes realize the value of education and how it changes people's lives. For me, it changed my life, and I always looked to have an impact on human potential broadly. And then when I arrived at Stanford for my graduate studies, I originally worked in crypto. Actually, that was my first rotation. And AI, unlike crypto, had a direct impact on education.
You don't want me to use this?
Yeah. So it works well?
I prefer to use this. Where that goes? Okay, I won't move. All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying unlike crypto, it was hard to find the intersection of crypto and education, to be honest. So AI was a more natural fit for education. A lot of things in education require data. Education that is personalized is much more impactful. And I got also interested in the idea of measuring human capabilities. And AI has changed since then the way people are measured.
And you started Workera. And what inspired you to do that? And how does the platform help tech professionals and companies improve their skills and stay current with the industry? That's the mission, essentially.
Yeah, on the first part, before Workera, I was working on a company called deeplearning.ai. And that company was whose mission was to democratize access to AI education. So I worked with my former graduate studies advisor, Andrew Eng, with the goal of teaching AI to everyone from the top technical individuals, many people in this room, to the literacy level. What do you need to understand? What is AI? What is not AI? How to work with a technical person? How to interact with an algorithm, whether it's physical systems or software systems. And we had over 4 million students complete our classes between the two of us. And the one thing that stood out was when I was asking students, what's the limiting factor in your career? Never they said contents. In fact, they said there's so much content. Today, if you want to learn machine learning, if you want to learn software, if you want to learn, you know, entrepreneurship, you have probably books, podcasts, articles, videos on YouTube, mentors. You have probably 10,000 ways to learn it. But the real gap is people don't understand where they stand, like what are my skills today, what is the gap that I have, and how can I fill that gap with the most effective content that is hyper personalized to me. And so this idea is really the idea of an AI mentor. If we all had an AI mentor in our pockets, we would be much better off. Like if I look back at my life, a lot of milestone moments was like a mentor telling me something that would essentially make up my decision for the next 5 things I was going to do. So how can we bring that to people? The way to break down mentorship in simple words is to be a good mentor, you need to be able to measure the students. If you cannot measure the students, you cannot be a good mentor because you don't understand the students. The second part is you need to have seen enough careers to be able to help the person define their goals at a high level, like define what I want to achieve, be ambitious enough. Sometimes you need to push the person to really aim high. And that's the job of a mentor. And then if you can figure these two things out, it's all about connecting the dots. Fortunately, with recommender systems, when you look at so many career progression, so many people doing X, Y, and Z, you can start mapping the patterns between what takes someone from A to B most effectively. And this was really the inception of Workera, which was, let's start with the first problem. Measure the human mind as granularly as possible, reinvent an old field that is psychometrics, to the age of data, and then figure out the rest.
So how do you see AI impacting the future of work? What do you think is going to be the impact on individuals and on the industry when AI comes in? How do we prepare for it?
Not when AI comes in, it's here. But I guess So generative AI specifically, because it's really a hot topic right now, and it's a lot of people are trying to figure out what is going to be the impact of generative AI. You probably have heard so much already on what generative AI does and do, but for me, my expertise is on the workforce. So I'm interested in how generative AI is going to impact the workforce, like supply and demand of skills at the end of the day. And starting with the demand is the question of what are the jobs that are going to be out there tomorrow, right? What are people going to hire for, and will determine what skills I need to build for tomorrow. What is creating jobs? Jobs are created by regulations, whether we want it or not. If companies have to suddenly show energy transition, sustainability goals, carbon footprint offset, they have to hire for those things. And so that's a creator of jobs. The second one is technology advancements. Generative AI specifically increases productivity, which is a very important metric in the workforce, in the way that influences the demand for skills. So for example, I don't know if there are content marketers in the room, but one of the jobs of the content marketer is to write blog posts. And if yesterday you could write 1 blog post per week, today you probably can write 10 blog posts per week.
Per day.
And as a result of that, it's a 10x productivity improvement. It's probably also a 10x decrease in demand for that specific task, because now you can have one person perform the job of 10 people in that job category. There's other categories that are going to have exposure. The exposure is going to be different across jobs. You know, we're talking coders being more productive, software engineers being more productive, tax preparation being more productive. This productivity factor directly translates to an impact on the demand of skills. And that will determine what are the jobs of tomorrow. At the same time, there's also jobs that are going to be created. You may have heard of prompt engineering. It's not a joke. In fact, we actually have at the company, many people focus now on prompt engineering to leverage the capacity of a language model and make it do what you want it to do, like querying it the right way.
So these are tricks in prompting, querying.
Tricks in querying. So the way you talk to ChatGPT, you know, you could actually write, 10,000 words and give it to ChatGPT, and it will influence the way it outputs. And it's an art at this point. And that job did not exist before. Like if you search for prompt engineering last year, you wouldn't find anything. Today, if you search on LinkedIn, you have approximately 50,000 jobs that mention prompt engineering. And so that's an example of a higher demand, lower supply type of job. Also demand implication by ChatGPT, by generative AI. And then on the supply side, the question is benchmarking. Do we have measurements in place across the globe in different workforces to understand at any point in time if we have the skills that will allow us to build the future? And that's a very complex question.
That query skill that you mentioned reminds me of Kevin Roos, who published a couple of articles in New York Times. He is the guy who tricked ChatGPT into telling all the background and all the rules that was made over there. And at the end of it, he claims that Kevin Roos is in love with him. Have you heard about that? That he said, you're in love with me, you don't love your life, and you can't live without me. That's the extension of the query engineering. Can you share any success stories of individuals or companies that use Workera that improved their skills?
Yeah. So the typical customer of Workera is not the big tech company, is any company that is undergoing a transformation. It's actually leaders of other verticals. So Accenture is a big one in professional services, Siemens Energy in energy, Mars, the chocolate company. Those companies are leaders of their categories, but they're trying to transform, and we're helping them. The way we typically do it is, the first question is, can an executive look at the strategic objectives that they have? So let's say you have big goals for next year, big projects, and translate those into skills. So that's an entire exercise. Like, do you have a skills ontology that is ever evolving, tracking the skills that are important in the market so that you can always tie your goals to those skills? And then the second step is administer those skills to your workforce. So you're going to create skills goals the same way you create OKRs, for some of you who are familiar with OKRs, but in skills ways so that you can track measurably. And then once those are defined, you assign them to your workforce. Every employee gets access to, in the browser, a set of measurements that are administered by an AI mentor. So it's very fun and formative. You get questions, you get feedback. And then after some time, the algorithm is going to stop asking you questions and tell you, we think we understand enough about your skills, and we are able to predict a lot of other skills we haven't measured you on, thanks to all the data we've collected. So today, within roughly 1.5 hours of baselining, we can predict 500 skills, roughly, which is a lot more than what was possible before. And that's the baseline. After the baseline, every employee is on a personalized learning plan. So, you know, I may be a beginner in a certain domain, and I may go through a very deep course, 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours. You may be an expert at that same domain, and we're not going to waste your time with the course that Kian is taking. We're going to give you the research papers that are tied exactly to the skills that you lack in that domain, and that's what we call precision upskilling. Precision upskilling is a new way to really gain skills in a very focused manner and faster.
So what is one of the things that is looming and people are afraid of is losing diversity and fairness in the job market, because everything is evaluated by machines. So how does Workera ensure that there's accuracy in the assessment that they're making to promote inclusion and diversity?
So it's very easy to write a quiz. Like any of us can go online and write a quiz. It is very hard to write a rigorous assessment that meets the psychometric standards of, low guessing, a low bias, and the low confidence, small confidence interval on the scoring. So the way you build such an assessment is in two parts. One is in the building process of the assessments. And then in the monitoring and calibration process of the assessment as you're measuring more people. The first part, you want to make sure that the people who are building the assessments have diverse backgrounds, that they have diverse levels of seniority, socioeconomic backgrounds, gender backgrounds, all sorts of diversity around the table, to make sure that when you measure a domain, such as AI, you actually care about the ethical use of AI. You care about responsible use of AI. You care about things that that not everyone in the community would have noticed that are important skills to measure.
Is this something that is codified in Workera right now? Is it something that you're looking forward to improve?
That is part of our assessment assembly process. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that happen pre-assessments. Then the assessments is going to be administered to people and start getting calibrated. The calibration process is very statistically heavy and important. You can statistically measure every single question in a test to guess, to uncover certain parameters, such as, is it prone to guessing? What's the estimated difficulty? What's the bias related to that question? All of that can be measured. So just to give you a simple example, if you have 100 people take a set of 5 questions, turns out there's a hard question, an easy question, and 3 questions in the middle. If you notice statistically that someone gets the 3 first question wrong, but the last question correct, you're going to start asking yourself question, how do they get the easy questions wrong, but the hard question correct? If you start seeing that at scale, then you're going to understand either something is wrong with the question or something is wrong with the way the tests have been administered. We automate a lot of that process so that tests adapt over time and become more calibrated.
Thank you. What advice do you have for tech professionals who are striving to stay current, to keep their skills competitive? What should they do?
So for tech professionals specifically, I think the culture of learning is going to be the most important. There are studies showing that the half-life of skills, which is a measure of how long on average a skill is helpful in your job, is the lowest that it's ever been. So, the TensorFlow that I learned in 2015 has nothing to do literally with the TensorFlow that some of us learn today. And that will continue to compress. And so today, if you're a software engineer, a machine learning engineer, an electrical engineer, in those categories where this half-life of skill is so low, you have to keep learning. It's the most valuable asset that you have in your toolkit at the end of the day. And so I would just invite people to frequently test their skills, learn, check in with one of their mentors if they're doing well. And sometimes I just go on job descriptions online and just look at what are the new requirements and try to adapt quickly to it. Yeah.
And how does Workera stay current with AI, the latest technology, and also with the education? And how do you make sure that you continually improve the platform? Are these stepwise or are these continuous?
Yeah, so we have an 8-week release cycle. So every 8 weeks we have to release something meaningful to learners and customers. But how do we stay current? That's a big question. And I can tell you how I try to stay current and how I advise the team also at Workera to stay current. In AI specifically, there's so much noise. There is a paper coming out every single second somewhere in the world. We don't have time to read all of that. So what I usually do is I use Twitter as my main source of information. I follow friends, I follow people in the community that I trust, and that makes a great feed. In the morning, I can wake up, look at Twitter. I probably see 10, 20 papers that came out on a single day. I may sometimes print them, and I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm usually going to look at a paper, do a first read of just the abstract and the figures. That's it. And I'll do that across maybe 10 papers, 1 minute per paper, let's say, or less than 5 minutes per paper. And then if something is interesting to me, I may delve down deeper and do another read that will include also the intro, the development part, and the conclusion. And then if I really like it, I would sit down with the team and try to prototype something. But that's how I keep it up. Reddit, I don't know if there are Redditors in the room, but Reddit is great to debate on papers in AI. So while Twitter is the way you find out about the paper, Reddit is where you discuss it and where you trash it sometimes. And so that's to go deeper into it. And then I also try to look at research conferences, ICLR, ICML, NeurIPS, KDD, and see what's coming out this year, because those are typically peer-reviewed and they've been curated. So some people with expertise have done the hard work of selecting the good papers for you to read.
Kian, have you taken speed reading course?
No, but actually I'm not that fast, especially in English.
You should take it. Woody Allen famously took one and read Brothers Karamazov in 20 minutes, he said. And he said it was about Russia.
But that's funny. We did a speed typing competition at the company, and the people who won were the 2 youngest people in the company. That was it. And they said we actually learned it in high school, and I was very surprised.
Oh my God. Now, the topic that is most interesting for people who are over here, not, the rest of the journey was very much, but what has been your biggest challenge in building and scaling Workera? What was the journey like?
I'd say the challenge always shifted. Early on, it was a technology challenge. Like, how can we measure people very accurately in a very short amount of time by using AI? Then probably the biggest challenge in the history of the company is the ability to complement myself with someone who's more commercially minded. And in 2020, right after we raised our seed round, we hired a COO who allowed me to focus on technology and led the go-to-market teams. And that helped the company incredibly. And it really unlocked a capability.
That separation of roles that you had over.
Yes.
So early on, when you had the idea, what steps did you go through? Did you pitch it to investors? Did you get seed money? Did you have your own money? What was the trip at the beginning?
So I first talked about it with Andrew Eng.
Guru in the field.
Yeah. And Andrew, I got Andrew's support. So he was funding. He put the first check in the company essentially, and then build the technology. Try to land the first few clients. Founder-led sales early on. Pitched to investors. Managed to get a seed round, and then everything started from there. Where after the seed round, we had the product in place, but we didn't have that much of a strong commercial traction. We made the bet of go enterprise first. That was our thesis. This product is going to work for enterprises. more than for consumers or other segments, mid-market or consumers. And that was a good bet for us. Enterprises were trying to transform. They really enjoyed our product. Their learners enjoyed their product. And then we managed to build an enterprise-grade platform over the next year following that seed round. And that led to our Series A that then unlocked more resources for us to continue to build our first mover advantage in that category.
So basically, because of the academic connections you had, the raising of the capital at the beginning especially was easier for you.
I mean, I wouldn't call it easy, but it was
It was help.
Yeah, it worked out for us.
What's the biggest opportunities, some of the biggest opportunities for Workera in the future? And how do you plan to expand the platform to take advantage of these opportunities?
Yeah, so there's two main axes that I'm excited about for next year and the year after. One is originally Workera was focused on measuring AI skills for everyone, top technical individuals and literacy level. But there's so many more skills that matter. Yeah. So since then, we've launched cloud skills, cybersecurity skills, DevOps skills, software skills. We have expanded into a transformative skills, any skills that is top of mind for innovation. And now we are building a capability that allows us to measure any skill, roughly, at many levels of cognition. So every skill has a level of cognition tied to it. Understanding, like applying, synthesizing, creating. And
give us for example, what skill, for example?
Yeah, so for example, in machine learning, there is an algorithm called PCA. And I could ask you, Saeed, what is PCA? And you describe it for me, you tell me. So that is a recall cognition. You're recalling a concept. I could ask you, here are two matrices, please multiply those matrices, which is also needed in PCA. But that is not the same cognition. That is apply level cognition.
Experience in using
I can also give you a data set and tell you extract the principal components of that data set. And then you're going up and up in cognitions where you may have to synthesize information, analyze information, or create something new, which are also higher level cognitions.
Lastly, I want to ask you, how do you keep your balance at working as a CEO of a burgeoning meteoric company? At the same time, you must have other interests in life that you have to tend to. What's your secret?
My secret, I don't do that many things, but honestly, I wanted to be a football player when I was younger.
Soccer player, you
soccer
mean?
Player.
You know,
soccer
in
player.
France, they say football.
Yeah. Soccer player. Yeah. I was not good enough, but I still play, and it's a big part of my life. So I play 3 times a week. I have my group. It's so helpful for me to
play now.
Compress. Yeah, I love playing.
3 times a week.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And
where's the pickup game?
Yeah, it's
for sure.
We'll invite you.
Well, I think we have time for one question, and I would like to open it to the people in the audience. And that gentleman over there, can we get a mic for him, please? And also, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and tell us what your interest is before you pose your question. Thank you.
Hello, Salam. My name is Shahab Layegi, and I'm a software engineer. I'm also interested in AI. So my question for you is, was the release of large language models like ChatGPT, was it a surprise and a disruption for your company, or did you expect that?
Yeah, I can tell you for the company, but Jen, for the community as well, and how it worked out. But so at Workera, it was very important to use language models just early on and in the vision of the company, because understanding skills requires you to understand the semantics of them. And so, to give you an example, if I know that you can do 2 times 2 = 4, I do not need to ask you 2 + 2, and I do not need to ask you 2 - 2. Why? Because there is a semantic relation between those concepts that are encoded online. 2+2 is taught online. If you download the Stanford curriculum or whatever curriculum, it's taught before 2x2. So we should know that this concept is a prerequisite to another concept. And that requires language embeddings, embedding every skill so that you can measure 1, predict 10, and then measure another one here and predict 50, etc. So we were already ready for that revolution. The difference is we did not expect how fast those embeddings will improve. If you had asked me 2 years ago if I think that a consumer grade chatbot will be released a year later, I would have told you no way. I would have told you the language revolution will start with niche applications, maybe in healthcare, because there is a lot of data, maybe in finance, because there's a lot of time series. I would not have told you there's a consumer grade chatbot coming. That surprised me, surprised a lot of my friends as well, who have worked in NLP for quite a long time.
Well, Kian, you're a very busy CEO in a company, starting a company that really matters in our time. And I know you have a very, very busy life. And on behalf of Plug and Play and the Iranian community, I would like to thank you for giving us the time and your thoughts. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then we get to the segments that we have presentations. We have 4 presentations, 4 startups. The first one is changing the program. No. We're going to startups? Go ahead. Okay, I go ahead. Okay, the first startup. Minja, are we ready? Okay. The first startup is Influx, and Mr. Sayed Sajjadi is going to present his company over here, and you have 3 to 5 minutes.
Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Am I audible?
One more hand for Sayed, who's taking good over there.
Thank you.
3 and 5 minutes.
Thanks. 3 to 5 minutes. I'll keep that. So I'll be rapping very fast. I'll try to stay clear though. Hi everyone. My name is Sayed Sajjadi, CEO co-founder at Influx. I'm here today to talk about the work that we've been doing over the last couple of years. If I could have your attention for the next 5-ish minutes, I can promise you that you'll learn something new in AI or space or manufacturing. So with that, let's dive in. We started Influx out of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, down in Pasadena, 2019. The problem statement that NASA had put out was the following: how could we assist astronauts in real time as we go to a deep space mission? So right now, if someone in the International Space Station, an astronaut has an issue, they call Houston, and someone at JSC Johnson Space Center picks up the phone and they effectively FaceTime with the astronaut. But we can't do that with Mars, right? With Mars missions because of the long delay that exists. So NASA wanted something that could do this autonomously. We wrote a proposal in 2019, and after a couple of months of technical review was accepted, and voila, that was the birth of Influx, 2019. We then closed our seed round in 2020 from Amazon, USC, and a couple of other amazing investors that helped us to productize the technology. And most recently, late 2022, we closed our Series A, which has not been, this is the first time that it's being actually disclosed publicly. Now we have more resources to be able to expand and commercialize our product in manufacturing. So let's go a little bit deeper. Turns out operators and assemblers actually need the same level of assistance that an astronaut needs to be able to perform their jobs. So what does that mean? Operators need a real-time, step-by-step guidance. Imagine you're assembling a 5G antenna or a wing of an airplane, right? That operator would greatly benefit from a system that in real time can say, put that gasket there, screw this thing here, and connect that tool to this other part. That real-time assistance is currently missing in the market. Secondly, operators would benefit greatly and manufacturers from real-time quality checks. So right now what happens is if someone assembles a product, they send it to next station, and 10 stations later, there's a quality assurance station that someone checks things in real time, and that's when they catch that error. Manufacturers want something that can catch that error in real time. That's the second one. And then lastly, traceability and visibility. There's a humongous blind spot for manufacturers when it comes to manual procedures. Unlike the popular opinion that might think that robots and chat GPTs are taking over the world, in manufacturing sector, 70% plus of the activities are still done by humans. So let me give you a fun number. For every 10,000 manufacturing employees, there are only 126 robots. 126 robots, 10,000 manufacturing employees. So the ratio of manual activities is humongous, and manufacturers do not have visibility over that. So I want to dive deeper a little bit about how we solve this problem. These are some of the real world deployments that we have in different factory floors and in different countries. On the left-hand side, you're seeing our deployments in Airbus's factory for A320. There are cameras here that are looking at the work that the operator is doing in real time, and we provide a web-based application. The web-based application in real time interfaces with the operator so that they can see the procedure that they're performing and be guided in real time. I want to quickly give you a demo. This is not a real product, because if I were to do that, they'll send me to jail due to IP infringement. So it's going to be a video that will totally play. Can you please wave your magic wand and make this work? The video. 30 seconds, don't kill me. Okay, all right. So the idea is I'm going to try to entertain you while the video is loading. So the web-based application is in front of the operator. And in this case, this is actually a mock-up of a 5G antenna. We work with one of the largest 5G antenna manufacturers on the planet. And as the operator is performing a procedure, putting different gaskets on, the AI is seeing what is happening, marks things as done as the operator performs them, and in real time guides the operator. So if you and I go to a station and we've never assembled a 5G antenna, we just look at a dashboard and we can literally assemble a wing of an airplane for the first time, or a 5G antenna. So that training value is super valuable to the manufacturers, in addition to the real-time quality check that is performing. Next, I'll just wrap this up. Thank you for playing that video. So we conducted a case study with one of our customers to measure the impact, and we saw significant results as it relates to quality improvement. So we saw over 30% improvement in quality performance, as well as ramp up time. There we go. Okay, so effectively we help the manufacturer to be able to set up a new line in half the time that they could before. And as you can imagine, that could be millions of dollars if we can half the time that they set up a new factory or a new line, or get an operator to be trained to start assembling in a short period of time. Sorry if I mumbled and talked very fast. Appreciate your time. Come and find me after this. Thank you. Okay.
Lab. And this is a remote presentation, so nobody's going to walk in over here, right? Okay, once more, the next presentation is Front Door Lab by Yasaman Rajai. That's a great deal. Yasaman,
hello, everyone.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Can you?
We don't have, do we have the audio?
I do. I can hear you guys.
You can hear us, and we're beginning to hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Do you also see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it should be just a purple front door page. I do not see it, so yeah, thanks for confirming.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. So it has been a very interesting night, and you'll get to know why later in my talk. But bear with me, as it is like 3 a.m. here in London. And but yeah, so I want to just, like, before starting anything, just close your eyes. I want like everybody to kind of like picture something, and then like we can kind of double check that with each other afterwards. So imagine you're in an immense library filled with millions of books, tweets, articles, videos, podcasts, products, just like the same way that Kian just described like maybe like 20 minutes ago. And the shelves of this library basically stretches as far as the eye can see. And there is this new content flooding every like second. And if you have already imagined it, so you can now open your eyes, it probably looks something like this. And it for sure is overwhelming, at least for me. I guess it's going to be for you as well. And this is just our internet today. It's very hard to find the right content. Again, kind of the weird point that I just mentioned was that Kian was just kind of like repeating the sentences I wanted to use, so I tried to change them a bit. But yeah, there is no problem with like the amount of content on the internet. It's about finding the right content, right? And then spending the least amount of time to get to that. Let's say you were actually lucky. You, like Kian, you were on Twitter, you actually know the right people, so you find a piece of information. He had his own system, so he literally did a user interview for me here. But let's say you were also lucky, you found that piece of information, and now you want to save it somewhere, right? What do you do to later on recall it and kind of like reuse it? Do you take notes? Do you bookmark? Do you screenshot on your photo? And I've seen some people like even like manually kind of send it to their Telegram or WhatsApp or somewhere that they have like on their Slack. I've seen it all basically. So you're not alone if you're like one of those people. The reality is that internet is just drowning in content, and us, we are all knowledge workers in other words, basically. And we spend countless hours every day. We consume so much information across multiple platforms, but the reality is that our brains have never been designed to store, organize, and recall this magnitude of information. So what do? We actually create this external but digital storages to save these pieces of content. It kind of acts as our second brain. And the problem is that we never use it or like revisit it, because maintaining this second brain is extremely hard. That's where Frondor comes in. Frondor is like your personal librarian for the internet. It's the key to unlocking the right information at the right time. So today's world does not need us to just find the content. It needs us to find the right content at the right time. So we should not just scroll Twitter so that maybe we discover that thing that we want to discover. We should be able to discover it when we need it. And that is like a new way to look into like the whole process of discovering information, not for the whole purpose of education, for everything, for the knowledge that we need to do our jobs and everything. But how do we actually do that? So first, we utilize AI, LLMs, and your social graph to automatically organize your knowledge, your second brain, and deliver it to you when and where you need it. It's like kind of we are building your second brain, but without you taking any effort, literally. And second, you can basically instantly access other experts' curated knowledge. Let's say I want to kind of like you guys tell each other how much would you pay to get access to those AI papers that Kian reads every day, and then picks the best one and kind of goes to the team and talks about with that best one. What if you could actually access those curated content that he puts time as an AI expert and works on it every day? And this is what we do. It is like Frondor makes that available for you if he is in your social graph. And those other brains will become your third and fourth and millionth brain. at your fingerprint. You do not need to actually take a speed reading course. You just need to we need to change our way of kind of figuring out how to discover information.
John.
Go ahead. Yes.
1 minute.
Yes. What should I do? Oh, 1 minute left. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm almost done. So our users love Front Door because it helps them to remove the burden of curation and discovering content. We have already built a devoted community of users and successfully launched our product, and have seen our user signups just grow exponentially over the past couple of weeks. You all know that right now LLMs empowers everybody to just generate content with just like one click. And the more the internet expands at this unstoppable rate today, so does the demand for an efficient curator. And at Front Door, we are on the mission to build this curation layer for the entire internet. If what I just said, this vision resonated with you, we'd love you to join us. We are hiring founding engineers. We are not fundraising at the moment, but we are always open and committed to kind of bring on an open room for value-adding investors. And lastly, we are always on the lookout for experts to join our community and become our founding internet curators and shape the product with us. So feel free to contact me on email or LinkedIn. I'm not going to be there. This was Yossi, by the way, and I am co-founder of Front Door.
Thank you very much. Yossi, thank you very much. We appreciate your presentation.
Of course.
Next presentation is Sutter AI by Sam Big Delhi, and he is going to lead us through it. Please give a warm welcome to Sam. But you still have 5 minutes. You will be well.
سلام، خیلی خوشبختم که در خدمت شما هستیم. گفتن سریع صحبت کنید، وقت کمه. میخواستم بگم پریزنتیشنی که بهتون میدم پیچ دک ما نیستش به خاطر اینکه وقت کم بود. میخواستیم فوکس کنیم در مورد ایده، ویژن و انسپیریشن کاری که داریم انجام میدیم. Soter is the Greek god of safety and security. We have developed an advanced AI system for cognitive platforms. The focus of the company is on real-time and active anomaly detection. There are many applications for the platform. Focuses on public and private safety and security, places like border, ports, refineries, critical infrastructure. Those are the areas that we are focused on. It's not moving. There you go. Problem with scaling safety and security. Once you start looking at large areas to cover for safety and security, the problem becomes more about how labor intensive it becomes, and it's dangerous for the labor, and also becomes very slow and costly. So how do we scale that? And the solution that we have for that are simple drones that can learn and execute together. Our inspiration came from bees. They have scaled the exploration of food beyond a single bee's capability. And they collaborate intelligently and have advanced communication skills. But if you look at a single bee, it has a very small brain, the size of a sesame seed, and also a very small physique, very small body. But together, they have very complex and scaled organizations. They demonstrate collective cognitive behavior. That's how down to their communication and the models that they have. The model that they have, it's made of a centralized information repository that the queen and the hive control. And they also have a central command and control system that again is controlled by the queen. They also have a multimodal and multi-scale sensing and communication system. They use visual communication, they use touch, and they use pheromones. The combination of a centralized system with the advanced communication enables them to scale despite their relative small size. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's not going. Oh. So this is the wiggle dance of the bee. It's one of the phenomenals in the nature. It's pretty interesting. It's a perfect example of local visual communication to orchestrate a collective behavior. And if you look at it, I don't know why it's going backwards. So this bee just came to the hive, and for years everybody thought, you know, they're just celebrating and but the reality is that it's communicating to entire hive where the source of food is, and the angle of the dance, the speed of the dance, and the direction of the dance is going to show where the source of food is. And instantly, a swarm will leave the hive using that information to find the source. As a result, this collective learning enables the hive to cover 1,000 acres, a single hive, for search for food. So in Solar, our cognitive platform mimics the same model by focusing on reliable information, reliable and actionable information, like the flower for the bee. And then the cognitive engine acts as the central command and control and federates information from and to drones and sensors. Drones act as agents, very much like honeybees. To give you an idea of the scale, this is a refinery where we're engaged in Southern California. It has 300 acres of tank farm, and we are providing an active anomaly detection at scale with a fleet of drones. Welcome to the age of cognitive systems and collective autonomy. You can find me. We can talk more deeply about the tech. This was just the idea.
Thank you. Our next presentation is Deep Meds. Arash Atashnama is going to present it remotely. Arash, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
آقای آتشنما.
Can you hear me now?
Arash, can you hear us?
Yes.
You have your image, but we can't hear you. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Go ahead. You have 5 minutes, Arash.
Yeah. Just give me a second, please. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Hello?
The screen is not available, Arash.
Just give me a second, sir.
Has it started sharing the screen share? Arashon, you might want to stop your screen sharing and then restart it again. That might work.
Yeah,
okay, we can see it right now.
Can you?
So just do it again. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. How about now?
Okay, it's working.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm Arash, co-founder and CEO at DeepMed. Our mission is to use AI to significantly improve patients' health and safety during MRI and CT scans by minimizing the usage of contrast agents. So what are contrast agents? They are chemical substances that are injected into the vein to improve the visibility of internal organs. They are vital elements of more than 100 million scans and are used in different imaging techniques, including MRI, CT scan, and ultrasound. The gadolinium-based contrast agent is a specific type of contrast that is used in 1/3 of MRI scans. While they are beneficial in diagnostic, they have side effects, including allergic reactions, and which can range from mild to severe. The studies have also shown that these contrasts can be built up into the brain, into the bone, and their long-term side effects are still unknown. Also, sensitive groups of patients, including patients with kidney problems, pregnant female, and young children, cannot receive the full dose of contrast, which can lead to misdiagnosis. For the past 2 years, our dedicated team of radiology and AI experts have been working on a solution that taps into this $8 billion market opportunity. We've been engaged with more than 20 large radiology centers across Australia and the US. We've been recruiting more than 1,000 patients to our study and have developed a solution. And our solution is a deep learning software that can minimize the usage of contrast agent in brain MRI by 80% without compromising the image quality. As you can see in this image, the top right one is the brain scan of a patient that received only 20% of the dose and has been enhanced using our software. And the left one is the brain scan of the same patient that received the full dose of contrast. And the similarity rate between these two images is 98%. Our software is seamlessly deployed into the current workflow of radiology center and can be integrated with either the MRI device or with the PACS software, and so there will be no change in the workflow of radiology center. The team behind this project has a combination of business and technical capabilities. I'm the co-founder and CEO. We have worked together on different projects with the team for the past 10 years. We have developed several projects together and have the experience of bringing similar products to the market. And we are supported by a team of advisors, including Matt Tucker, is the former president and CEO of GSK in Australia and New Zealand. And for the next step, we aim to leverage the first mover advantage. There's no similar product in the market. And our next milestones are to publish our results in radiology journals, as well as conducting external validation and pilot implementation. And finally, integrating our software with channel partners platform. We are engaged with big pharma companies, including GE Healthcare, OSF Healthcare, and Fujifilm to accomplish this goal. And we are seeking warm introduction to decision makers at radiology center and key opinion leaders. We are also raising seed funding of $1.7 million. So if you are an investor or have access to those people, I would really appreciate it. And you can reach out to me. Thank you so much for listening to my speech.
Thank you very much, Arash. And we have no more pitch, but we have a pitch of a sort done by Farzad Yousefi about ISC, and he'll tell you all about it. Farzad John?
Yeah. Okay, I do. So Saeed, I think I'm one of the confused ones here because I'm presenting a nonprofit, but I am here to ask for funding. Unfortunately, there's no financial return on your investment, but there will be a lot of spiritual return because a lot of students will be thankful of you. So Iranian students of California, my name is Farzad. I'm a board member of ISC. I'm also an MBA student at UC Berkeley for 1 more week and then graduating. Thank you. ISC is not a student organization. It's actually a nonprofit organization for students. We are a group of volunteers. We are alumni, students, we are engineers, doctors, lawyers, just like you, who are spending a little bit more time out of our lives just to help our community. We are nonpartisan. We are not religiously affiliated. And we are a 501c3 registered nonprofit, which means if you donate, you can write it off for taxes. So that's a big plus. We can go to the next slide. I'll talk about what do we do. We are focused on three main areas. One is local services. When a student arrives from Tehran or Los Angeles or anywhere else, they have a lot of needs on campus, whether it's financial, tax, immigration, personal, emotional, fun, cultural. We want to make sure there is a community for them on their campus. So we are working with universities and student organizations on those campuses to build those communities. After that, in order to make that happen, we need more of students to step up and become leaders, to become volunteers. So we're focused on building leaders who will do community service. And then as students approach graduation, they're looking for jobs. So we help connect them to mentors. And not all Iranian students are in tech. So we do help people in healthcare, in law, in economics, or any major they have, because a lot of them don't have the community and they're disassociated from the Iranian community because pretty much everyone else is in tech. So why am I here for? If you go to the next slide, if you have the time, whether you're a student, you're an alumni, we would love to get your help as a mentor, as a volunteer, as a leader, as an advisor. If you don't have time, I'll take your money. That's okay too. Our organization is independent. We are not getting money from any groups or organizations. We are run today by money from students. Students who don't have a job are donating money to our organization, as well as some alumni who've been kind enough. So I think anyone who works in tech here definitely has at least $25 to donate to our cause. The good news is, if you are at a big tech company and you donate to us, your company will most likely match it because we're in their system. So just look for Iranian Students of California or Iranian American Student Council. So if you believe in this cause, if when you were a student, you had challenges and you wish something like this existed to help you, then help us make that happen. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you very much, Farzad John. Our program is almost over. I just want to reiterate that you should go to linkedin.com and join Plug and Play, or what is the name of the Persian Tech Network? You can actually send this one and go there much quicker. And that would not, take some of the time that you're going to have for it. So next meeting is going to be on June 13th. A Tuesday. We are going to be fixed on Tuesday for a while. And for your information, if you haven't had pizza, there is an empty room full of new pizzas over there, and those people don't know about it. Over there. But before you go, I want to once more. I would like to recognize who are the key engineers that are looking for jobs. Who are the founders who are looking for investment? And who are the investors who can provide money? Okay, you are identified. If you have ideas, if you have startup ideas, please mention it. Go to linkedin.com on that page and indicate your idea or your interest. Also, you can contact Ahmad Reza Masroor, and or you can talk to me and I will route you to the right person. Thank you very much for coming.